Welcome to the 2021 Street Parking Vault. The Street Parking Vault is a one workout a week for 25-week series with the goal to help street parking members build consistency.
This, however, is the beginning of round 2. If you have done this before, this is your opportunity to retest the workouts or try a different version.
Customize these movements and choose a version that fits your ability. Your scores and weights don't matter. The goal is to maintain consistency from week to week. You just can't miss.
If this is your first time doing this workout, click on the link below, which will take you to the original version that breaks down all of the customizations, tips, as well as all the different versions of the workout.
All right, it is week 24 of round 2 of the 2021 Street Parking Vault, and we've got Heracles. Now, this one has some of your favorite movements in it. We've got man makers, we've got devil press, we're running. It's cold outside this time. So my first way that you can change this workout up, if you've got the equipment for it, is if you ran last time to jump on a rower or a bike, or vice versa. If you did the rower bike last time, get out there and run. That is one way that you can make this workout feel completely different if that's what you're looking for this time around. Now, if you were already doing the suggested weight, we actually don't encourage you to go heavier on this workout, so you can just go faster. This is one where you can really push the pace on the row, bike, or run and come out of the gates hot, peacock that first round, and see if you can hold on. Now, if you didn't quite make the goal time and you're not sure that you can make the goal time this time, a couple ways that you can customize it and make it work better for you this time around: lower the distance on the run, row, or bike by just a little bit, or lower your weight. If you're unable to lower the weight, but that is really the place that slows you down, if you only have 40-pound dumbbells or 25-pound dumbbells, then you can lower those reps to 5 of the man makers and 10 of the devil press each round if you need to allow you to keep moving and get within that goal range this time. For the shift version, if you're not quite ready to take on all of Program A, but you do want to make shift more difficult this time around, what I would encourage you to do is pick a set distance on the run, row, or bike, or continuous movement. So instead of just moving for 30 seconds, test what's difficult for you for 30 seconds before the workout, and then stick to whatever that distance or rep number or whatever it was through all of the rounds. The other thing I would challenge you to do is take those burpee reps from 8 up to 10.
What's up, guys? I am getting ready to redo Heracles. First time around, I did it running and with 25-pound dumbbells. This time I am still nursing a little bit of an elbow injury, so I have customized it. I'm going to be using the assault bike, which I'm kind of bitter about, but it's gonna be great. For the man makers, I'm using the sandbag because it's a little bit more forgiving in the front rack, which kind of irritates my elbow. And for the devil press, I'm going to be doing alternating single arm devil press so that, again, my elbow is only doing like half of what it typically would with the devil press. So I don't really anticipate beating my old score, and that's perfectly fine. I am just here to get a good workout in. So let's do it.
And here we go! Heracles, what a wonderful workout. I'm excited about this one.
What makes you excited about this one, Jeb?
Well, there's a couple of things. The workout itself, I think, is just a great workout. It's well put together. It is themed well with the Greek god kind of theme for this run through of the vault. And also, I'm just excited that we're seeing somebody that's doing it in a completely different way than the first time that she did it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of really great reasons for that, which I'm sure we'll get into.
So, okay, you mentioned the relationship between Heracles and what this workout is. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Okay, so Heracles, or maybe a lot of you know as Hercules?
Oh.
Hercules. So
Hercules.
Exactly. He was one of the greatest of the Greek heroes.
Oh my.
And we call him a Greek hero because he was actually only half god,
Oh,
half man,
which is called a
demigod.
Demigod.
Yes, and so as you can see, Alex right now is doing his handbag version of the man maker, representing half man demigod type things.
Sure, yep, all
and
of those.
also quite a Herculean type movement. When she gets to the devil presses, you'll notice there's 12 reps. Hercules was known for the 12 labors.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of tie-ins, and you might even see some tie-ins to other workouts, including the one named for his father.
Who's that guy?
His name is Zeus.
Yeah, he fathered everyone, right?
Yeah,
he
pretty
just-
much. He was a real piece of work.
Yes, he
Just
was.
Leave it at
and
that.
the ladies loved him.
Yeah, I mean, that's one way of putting it. That's sure that's how he would put it.
Right, okay. The PG version is the ladies loved him.
Yeah.
All right, so Alex is in her second bike here. When she gets off the bike, she's gonna hit those devil presses. When it comes to an alternating devil press, like why would she be subbing out an alternating devil press for the 2 dumbbell devil press in this version?
So there's a number of reasons, and I think she said earlier, like she is still nursing or recovering from a little elbow issue. She's feeling pretty good, but she's still just being safe and making sure that she's fully recovered before she starts going 100% into certain pulling type movements.
Yeah, that's smart. That's smart. You don't want to jump back in too fast.
Exactly, and that's probably the biggest mistake that we can make when we do get a tweak is we're like, oh, it's feeling pretty good. It doesn't really hurt that bad.
Yeah.
And so then we just try and go full throttle, then we tweak it again, and then that recovery goes from being a 3-week long thing where we're having to really customize to like a 6-month long thing.
Yeah.
And so as you can see, like she's still using both arms for the devil press, but she's allowed to be more controlled with just the single dumbbell. She's not having to focus on 2 different objects. It's just one object. And she's still getting some stimulus on that arm. It's just half of it.
Yeah, I think that was a great option for Alex. She's pretty smart when it comes to recovery and tweaks and this and that, because it's not about if you can always get the best version of the workout that you've ever done every single time. Sometimes you just gotta do what's best for you in that moment. And if you wanna be using all of your limbs for the rest of your life, sometimes you gotta make the smarter choice. So bravo, or brava, Alex. Brava.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's what the whole point of the vault is, right? It's consistency.
Right.
So it's not about like, oh, I'm gonna crush this one or I'm gonna crush my time from last time. It's, can I show up again? Can I
Yep.
come back next time?
100%. And she is actually a little bit ahead of previous Alex here. She's gotten back on the bike a bit sooner. I think she's probably going to stay consistent in that throughout, to be honest.
Yeah.
Seeing as it is the 1 dumbbell and she's able to use the sandbag. Another bonus of the sandbag in a man maker is being able to drop it from overhead.
Yes. Now, you did the sandbag
I did.
the last time through.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about how that sandbag man maker feels compared to
Gosh.
dumbbells or a barbell, which is similar movements, but
So, okay, pros and cons. Pro, for sure, is like I said, you get to drop it from overhead. That's awesome. Con, though, is the movement. You have to be a little bit used to it. I recommend warming up with it, warming up in general. But if you're not the warm-up type, do a couple reps in the beginning, because
Yeah.
a sandbag man maker it doesn't feel as fluid necessarily, right? Because you're on the ground, you have to stand up, then you have to do a deadlift with the sandbag, then you have to bend over to a bent over row, and then into a hang squat clean, and then the thruster. So it's easy standing up, bent over row, then hang squat clean thruster, which the standing up doing the deadlift and then bending back over into the bent over row is like, it doesn't feel right.
yeah,
Like,
you get tempted to just go right into the cluster.
Exactly, yeah. It's not that it hurts when I say it doesn't feel right. It just feels kind of awkward.
Yeah.
So you want to get used to that in the beginning. Alex had no problem. Like she's, you know, maybe a little brighter than I am.
Good, good kinesthetic awareness, if you
Yeah,
will.
for sure. But and also thinking about like when you get into the bent over row, notice it's not like horribly far away from her body. It's still like close to her shins. She's not letting her back take the brunt of the weight, which is super smart, especially in this workout over time. That plus a devil press, or if you were doing all sandbag ground to overhead, could really light up your lower back if you're not being smart about it. So she was doing it right all the way through, and I mean, hopefully I did it too. I don't remember.
Well, we can go back and check the tape. That's
Nah,
the
no
good
one
thing.
wants. No one needs to do that.
okay.
No one needs to go back and look at me doing any fitness at any time. Okay, I highly recommend not that.
Duly noted.
I have a face for radio
Oh, come on.
when it comes to fitness. When it comes to fitness, yeah.
Fitness for radio.
Yeah, fitness face for radio, 100%. No one needs to see me terrified for 20 minutes.
We'll see after the football combine.
Oh my golly, great googly moogly. No one needs to see that either, oh my goodness. Anyway, moving right along to much more important things. Alex is on pace with previous self again. She was out for her run at this point. Here she is on the bike. So she's maintaining a solid pace with herself. She doesn't look too concerned either. I'll have to be honest, Alex does not like this bike.
No. She doesn't like this bike. She was concerned also, actually more on the repetitive pushing and pulling movement of the assault bike than even the devil press. But, you know, she is being cautious, and she's probably using a little bit more leg, maybe keeping a little bit lower RPM on the bike to accommodate for those particular issues. She's so close to being out of the woods on this little elbow issue that
and she did a little test run in the warm up.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah. So she's cruising. I imagine she will be stay a little bit ahead of her pace.
Yeah, it looks like unless something goes horribly wrong, I think Alex has got this one in the bag to beat previous Alex.
100%.
She's now older, wiser Alex.
Yes.
Older, wiser, cricketier elbow Alex.
Now another good thing, you know, if there is the silver linings about if we do get tweaks, and they're good reminders that we can do this all the time, but especially with a movement like a devil press. Doing it the right way is so crucial, and it's so easy to let yourself do it really sloppily.
Yeah.
You know? And so I would just encourage everybody to hold yourself to a high standard of movement, regardless of what the clock says, regardless of what your old time or your old score was, regardless of what the person next to you might be doing, or that kind of thing, right? Think about good positions all the time, and then explore once you have those good positions.
Explore good positions. Got it.
Explore good
Noted.
positions.
Writing it down for later. I will
Enjoy
explore.
those positions.
Got it. Okay. All right. So shift. It's an 18-minute AMRAP, 30 seconds of taps, or jog, single under, something like that.
Sure.
30 seconds continuous movement, 8 goblet squat plus press, 30 seconds continuous movement, and 8 burpees. If someone last time did shift and they want to maybe attempt to go up to, say, a Program A, what do you think could be maybe a mid-road for them if they're not yet ready for Program A, but they want to do something a little bit more challenging than shift?
So it kind of depends on what direction you want to go. So for example, you had 30 seconds of taps.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to challenge yourself aerobically a little bit more this time. So instead of those 30 seconds, maybe you go for that 200-meter run.
Okay.
And so you increase the distance, the volume in that capacity, and then you stick with a simpler movement like a goblet squat and press.
Okay.
You could up the reps a little bit on that and go to 12 of the squat and press and 12 burpees if you want.
Nice.
The other thing you could do is play around with that man maker or devil press movement.
Okay.
And you could try it with lightweight. Obviously try it when you're warming up, get a feel for, there's a lot of choreography
There
in
is.
a man maker.
There is. There really
and
is.
that's kind of what gets us so discombobulated when we're in the middle of it, you know. So if you want to play with that movement, go with light weights, piece it into, you know, all the different components rather than trying to flow through it. As the workout progresses, then you might be able to, you know, get a little smoother with it. So I would say, kind of depending on what you want to do. If you want to explore some of those weightlifting movements, maybe you go with the weightlifting movements. I would say go with the 4 rounds versus the 18-minute AMRAP.
Okay.
There is a psychological difference between doing something for time, where you have a fixed amount of work, rather than doing something for work, where there's a fixed amount of time.
Okay.
And so I would encourage folks that did it the AMRAP way to maybe try just going 4 rounds and picking weight and distances and maybe even repetitions that are gonna keep you in that time window of like 16, 20 minutes, something like that.
Okay. So a lot of good options there.
A lot of good options, but if you want me to just give you a very simple answer, I would say try 200-meter runs or try one of the more complex movements, maybe not both.
I like it. I like it. Kind of pick and choose your battles. Go with something that's going to challenge yourself where you need it.
Yes.
I love it.
Allow myself to introduce myself.
Yes. 100%. All right, so here Alex is again in the devil press. Really got a good rhythm there on that alternating devil press, which can be difficult. So you could choose to bring it down to the ground like Alex is. You know, she places it on the other side, and then made me a liar immediately, where she tosses it to the other hand. So it looks like she's putting on the ground for her left hand and passing it to her right hand, probably for that elbow.
Yes. See, that's a perfect example. Explore within the positions. There's so many little things that you can tweak and change to accommodate whatever you want to accommodate.
Yeah, that's smart. Always a thinker, that one.
She's such a thinker.
Look at that.
Maybe we should have a vault where it's just all great philosophers.
Oh my.
And Alex would be one of them. She'd have her own vault workout.
It'll be called the Alexandra.
The Alexandra.
But you have to say it like that, or else you can't do it.
No, you can't do it. Definitely can't check the extra challenge box.
Crushing it over here.
Yeah.
Still a little bit ahead of 6 months ago, Alexandra. She's not liking this bike though, I'll tell you that right now.
No. You can see her grip on the handles changes a little bit unorthodox style grip there, but you know, anyone who has experienced the assault bike, we change and nuance that thing every which way we can for every reason we can to try and make it somewhat more pleasant. And the way that you grip those handles can make a difference.
Yeah. I prefer to not grip those handles, as in not ride the assault bike. I don't even want to get on that stinking thing.
It's a love-hate thing. I love it.
I hate it.
Okay.
But that's okay. Everyone can like or hate whatever they want, I guess.
Of course, sure.
I'll still ride it on occasion, just not with joy in my heart, I'll tell you. You have to for me, I really have to try to zone out and not imagine I'm on it, because knowing I'm on that thing just honestly makes me cranky. Like, I get in a mental, unhappy, gloomy mood the second I get on that bike, and it's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. It makes me think also, we haven't talked a lot about assault bike, like ways that you can make it not
Less horrible.
Yeah. One thing that I have found is very helpful for other people, for myself included, is to focus on trying to find a rhythm with your breathing and then with the pushing and the pulling.
Yeah.
And so here's an example. Sometimes I will focus on my right leg, for example, and I'll drive with the right leg for 4 revolutions.
I actually do that sometimes.
Yeah, and then
to try
4
to
with
get-
the left,
yeah.
and then 4 pulls with the right arm,
Yeah.
and 4 pulls with the left. And so if you and then you look and you notice, like if I go through each limb,
Yeah.
and I kind of get 4 or 5 pulls on each limb, that's gonna get me roughly 3 calories.
Yeah.
So I know I don't even have to look at the monitor, and I can just breathe and kind of go through my little points of focus, and I
Yeah.
sort of know how many calories I'm getting. It puts you in a little bit more of a, I personally would like to say Zen state, but maybe
Yeah.
just slightly out of that
For
doom
me,
and
it's like,
gloomy.
yeah. I mean, for me, it's not that I go Zen, because I'm still horribly aware of the fact that I'm unhappy when I'm on the assault bike. However, it does give me something else to focus on, so
Right.
it's at least like, look away.
Right.
Like, look over here at the pretty shiny, like, sometimes I'll even, like, if I'm on a bike, open the garage and point it towards outside.
Yeah.
You know, something to get your mind off of it, because I don't think I'm ever gonna grow to love the assault bike, but if you gotta get on it, make
Might
it as
as well.
pleasurable as possible.
Exactly, exactly. All right.
This is coming up on the home stretch here, guys. We have 12 devil press. She's racing her previous self, and it's a close race.
I think she's got it. What's cool is that, you know, you can see she's doing half the weight on the devil press, but I mean, it does not look any easier. It's
No.
still a big movement. You're still traveling from the floor, taking that thing all the way overhead. Then you throw that assault bike in the mix
Yep.
compared to a run. I mean, we all know that that is a much more potent stimulus for most of us.
Yeah, it is. She's going for it here at the end. She's a solid like 4 or 5 reps ahead of her previous self, and almost done. Everyone loves a
Home
weighted
stretch here.
burpee.
Let's go, Alex.
And there it is,
All right.
17.
Solid, like 20 seconds
51.
off.
Very nice.
Very
We got
impressive, very impressive.
17:51 this time. Last time it was 18:15. I'm gonna throw it over to Jeb to do that math. Carry
What
the
was that,
one.
24 seconds?
Sure. So that's,
18:15 to 51?
yeah, that sounds right. 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Solid. That is a solid improvement. Doesn't actually look like it was much easier, like you said. I don't feel like the less weight didn't necessarily make it easier.
No way. And I think that's why one of the things I said I was so excited about in the beginning was that we get to see, like, okay, I got a little something I've got to address. I'm going to make this workout a little more accessible for those particular needs. And then now look at the aftermath. It's still nasty. So whatever, if you have some kind of issue that you need to consider, that doesn't mean that you can't still find a way to get a really potent dose of fitness.
Awesome, awesome. Let's go to Alex, see if she has any good tips for us.
Oh man, that was pretty cool. I didn't think I was gonna do better, especially with the assault bike. It's not a strong suit for me, so my goal was, or starting off, I knew that I should probably hold like 4 or 5 RPMs slower than I might typically try to start out with, because historically when I get on the assault bike, I'm really gung-ho and it feels great on the first round, and then my legs just hit a brick wall and I can't push anymore. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to start off slower and see if I can hold for longer. And I actually was able to hold like right at 56 RPMs every single time I got on the bike. So I'm super proud of that. And I would encourage you, if you know that the cardio element of whatever you choose today that you tend to struggle with, or you start off strong and always fall off, maybe try starting at a lesser intensity and then see if you can sustain that. It's harder on a run to know that. With a bike or a rower, there's a screen in front of you telling you exactly how much you're slacking off. So just do your best to pace your effort and see if you can hold a lower intensity the whole way across. On the man makers, whichever version you choose, just make sure that you are being intentional about breathing throughout the whole thing. And when I think about breathing, I really focus more on exhaling, because you're guaranteed to suck wind. You're gonna breathe it in. Where we tend to lax is in forcefully exhaling. So you wanna create room for fresh air to fill your lungs. So make sure you're taking some deep exhales as many times as you can throughout each rep. Make sure whichever row variation, if you're doing like traditional man makers with dumbbells, try to resist rotating at the hips. It helps if you widen your feet, create a wider base. You'll be able to stay a little bit more balanced that way, and resist the urge to like let the dumbbell collapse back to the floor, try to control on the way down. Like I think Nicole was mentioning, if you're doing sandbag or even barbell, practice the flow because it is a little bit tricky. But once you get into it, you can find a nice rhythm. It's a really, really fun movement, actually. And then on the devil press, be patient. Let yourself stand with a long arm, or arms, I should say, until the dumbbells get around mid-thigh. And then that's your opportunity. That's when you're most powerful. Open those hips, open those knees hard and fast. Let them help you get those dumbbells or that dumbbell over your head, so your arms aren't doing as much work because they will be tired after the man makers. But overall, guys, just remember to push yourself. We are almost through the 2021 vault, and this is a great workout to challenge your mental toughness. So try to dig in, dig deep, and have fun doing Heracles.